not be able to do werewolfathons for this time of year, but at least we have 2 Halloween-related videos to do. And we're gonna start by reviewing one of the movies that was recommended to me, Ernest Scared Stupid. Don't know who Ernest is? How could you not? Well, most of you probably weren't born in the 80s and 90s, so let's talk about him. Ernest P. Worrell is a fictional character played by the late Jim Varney, who first appeared in 1980 by the Cardin and Sherry advertising agency for local ads in Nashville, before his popularity soared to the point where major companies wanted to use him, whether it was for Coca-Cola products, Chex, Taco John's, or pretty much anything you can think of. Ernest was there to pester his neighbor Vern, meant to be the audience surrogate, to talk about how good it was and for something funny to happen to him.
What'll it be, Vern? Light or dark?
I can see some humor to be had, which is probably why they let him star in various films and a TV show called Hey Vern, it's Ernest. I'm only familiar with a few of the films that start with Ernest in the name, thanks to old reviewers I used to watch, and I didn't know about Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam. That one was released in 1985. This movie that we're looking at today was released in 1991. This was the 5th movie that Ernest starred in, and there were 5 others that would come out after that. Damn! Every one of these films was directed by John Sherry III, and besides doing a couple of non-Ernest related films, he's pretty much been doing nothing but Ernest stuff. The only question is, are most of them even good? I remember enjoying the Christmas one at least, but the others? Well, not like I can do them all anyway, but for this occasion, I might as well do it for the Halloween monsters. So let's see what's got Ernest scared stupid. We all been with Ernest, reacting to a montage of stock footage from old horror movies, like Nosferatu, The Giant Gila Monster, Battle Beyond the Sun, and just others I don't really recognize from the footage alone, but they are listed on this movie's Wikipedia page. Really, it's just an excuse for Ernest to mug at the camera and make awkward faces. But that's not all you want from him, right? You want funny dialogue. Well, we don't have that yet, but we do have some girl from Missouri from a long time ago running from an unseen monster. Try not to smile, there you go. The creature gets captured by the villagers and taken to be, well, you would think killed since it's a monster, but no. The village reverend with killer mutton chops, who is apparently an ancestor of Ernest, as we'll soon learn, says that they'll bury the creature under the ground and plant an oak tree there. I guess that's how they'll seal it away. But why not try killing it? You don't know if it can regenerate, and if it's easy to capture, I don't think you'll have any issues putting it down.
Face of death covers the moon. One with your blood in his veins will release me. And victory will at last be mine!
Well, good thing no one in this family would ever do something like that. As we cut to the present, as this was part of a book report on the history of Briarville, we learn that the creature is a troll named Trantor, but it seems most people see it as just a legend and not real.
That's bull. It's not bull. I read it in a book.
And as we all know, books always contain the truth and aren't subjected to revisionism or bans to suit their limited viewpoints. Anyway, as we see Ernest drive by in a sanitation truck with the bus stop lady being dragged, we learn what kind of curse was put on Phineas's family.
Well, legend has it that from that moment on, Phineas's descendants would get dumber and dumber and dumber.
Oh, how convenient. The only reason Ernest is so stupid is because a troll cursed his family. Would that mean if he had a child, they'd just be utterly brain dead? I mean, at least he seems to try and be innovative with how he cleans trash cans. It's just he doesn't have the techno know-how like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit does.
The Tsar of Jars, the Baron of Bottles, the Duke of Dust. Oh no!
Quick! Rim shot! Oops!
Oh yeah? Well, the movie does this joke for me. See, it's funny because he's going to die. Even when he has the bright idea to pull the batteries out of his universal remote control, it still sends a current to keep it running. The only thing keeping him alive are a couple of kids we saw earlier, Elizabeth and Kenny, who find out about his predicament and save his ass. It's one thing to enjoy his stupidity in the commercials since they're usually down to earth, but in movies, he can try my patience sometimes. So given this next scene with Mayor Murdoch asking Sheriff Cliff Binder to tell Ernest to clean up the Hackmore place, apparently Ernest needs to do this or get fired. Not sure how he wasn't already given his gross incompetence, but he heads over and my god, that's a lot of garbage! Never mind that, this looks like part of a set to Mad Max. What happened here? This place is owned by Lady Hackmore, played by Eartha Kitt, who seems to know about the curse that will befall the town if he stays.
You'll be a dead citizen. When the poisons of the evil courses through the portals and channels of your body, you will lie a quivering, toxic mass of screaming flesh. They will have to load you and the rest of this backward town on a meat wagon with a pitchfork!
Well, at least she's entertaining. Meanwhile, the kids, now joined by another friend, Joey, go over their really tiny haunted house they plan to show off. Yeah, they're kids, so I can't really rag on them for this, but unfortunately, their house gets demolished by the mayor's sons, Matt and Mike. Wanting advice, Kenny goes to Ernest, who talks about needing to learn self-defense.
Need to learn a self-defense lesson from tiny Botswana, that plucky little nation that defeated the giant Ottoman Empire. It was a dark night in Lower Botswana. Giant boola flies droned in the still air. Then it came, the screeching war cry of the Ottoman horde. We're the Ottomans, and you're not!
I don't remember the Christmas one being this stupid, or racist. The only takeaway is that we need a treehouse. Also, this car jack that Ernest was using bends from the weight of his car, and well...
Ernest!
What the hell were you doing here, Mr. Mayor? Oh, and funny how the window breaks just before the thing even hits it. Also...
Do you smell fish?
Moving on, he takes the kids into the woods to find the perfect tree for that treehouse. They eventually find a creepy area with perpetual fog in it, and they find an equally creepy looking tree that Ernest thinks is perfect for the treehouse. And as he nails in a piece of wood, we see that this is indeed the same tree that Trantor was buried under. What I'm surprised at is they actually make a halfway decent treehouse. Of course, Lady Hackmore shows up because they happen to disturb the one tree they shouldn't have picked.
A whole world of trees, and you had to pick this one.
Yeah, true. As he goes to talk with her, the Murdochs show up wanting to cause trouble. So the kids go on the counteroffensive with homemade weaponry.
And fire! Let's go! Fire!
Yeah, just like how they dealt with the Ottoman Empire. Wait. The Murdochs flee and the kids celebrate. Ernest returns and tells the kids about what Hackmore told him about the troll legend. And like the idiot he is, he does exactly what is needed to awaken the troll. Because it's midnight, he's touching the tree, and he said the line,
Yea, I call thee forth, Trantor.
But what are the chances of that happening?
I wonder how far down the Warrell family tree the troll legend got before they just forgot about the thing they were supposed to stop. I mean, yeah, the dumb curse would have done that, but still. The kids panic when lightning rolls in, leaving Ernest to be alone, spooked and stupid. And here comes the troll.
Boy, I sure hope you're from Keebler.
They're elves, dumbass. The troll looks scary, but apparently it's scared off by Milk. That's okay, because now it can target the kids, starting with Joey.
Hey, I gotcha.
Thanks, Ernest.
Admittingly, the costume looks really good. The costumes were made by the Kyoto brothers, Charles, Edward, and Stephen, who specialize in a lot of clay works and creature design. Following the belief that they appear ugly and disgusting, they make Trantor about as monstrous and slimy as they can get him to be. Although, that really only applies to the upper half of his body. The lower half makes him look like half of his body is his head while having a smaller torso. Anyway, Ernest runs to the sheriff's house to warn him about the troll being free, but even with Kenny's testimony, they don't believe him. He tells Lady Hackmore about it, who brings up how she could handle all those other kinds of monsters out there.
Vampires, werewolves. Well, I can handle that.
But to deal with the troll, they'll need to do something else. In one of her books, it mentions how the troll will raise an evil army, which according to her, he needs 5 children before midnight tomorrow to accomplish that. But the only way to stop it is with the heart of a child in a mother's care.
You're the only troll fighter we've got. You're the 7th son of the 7th son. You're the baby. You're the boy. You are the great redneck hope.
The great redneck hope.
Great! What's your first course of action?
Troll alert! This is not a drill! An actual troll has been sighted in the Briarville area!
Oh, Ernest, you're so stupid. How stupid? Well, he goes to Tom and Bobby Tulip for help, and they decide to sell him anti-troll traps that I'm surprised they made really quickly, which cost him around $1,000 total.
Does that include the giant album with every troll love song ever written?
Do rattlesnakes kiss carefully?
Anyway, the kids think of going back to the treehouse to find Joey, but find his doll there. So they return to Ernest, who is at Lady Hackmore's place. The troll follows them, while also taking a second child for his plans. Lady Hackmore believes that the last part of the book refers to human sacrifice, but Ernest wants to still use his overpriced traps.
And with this alarm system, the minute something steps in our trap, the beeper will go off.
And Endo Trollo, comprendo?
After a bit where it looks like Elizabeth has a childhood crush on Kenny, plus another child doll added to the collection, the kids try telling their parents about what happened, but they won't listen. They have more important things to worry about, like a Halloween party. Too bad Elizabeth can't go. And the mother, who is most likely still at home and not far away from her room, could easily hear the scream and find out about the troll. Except that doesn't happen. Instead, we get another Ernest bit where he sets up a huge bear trap for the troll, but because he made fun of his dog, something bad happens.
I was just kidding about that ugly thing, honest. Rim shot. Oh.
Oops, Ernest died. Now to enact another potential film, Ernest goes to the grave, where he bothers both God and Satan. At least it looks like the Tulip brothers are willing to help, or at least indulge his nonsense for money. Anyway, Trantor stalks Ernest while he gets snacks, and the only one to notice is the convenience station attendant.
Something big. Big mouth. Big bill, big bird, big bill, big, sounds like two, T for two.
Sam, hey, ma'am.
And again, the troll runs off over milk being spilt. I wonder what this means. Otherwise, Trantor stalks Kenny and another friend of his, the latter getting dolled behind him.
Time to join your little friends.
I'm catching up.
admit, this bit is pretty good. It's like the monster is taunting this child, who now knows his friends were caught and he's next. Oh, and I guess the parents are aware that their children are missing, but all the sheriff can say is,
They're probably already over at the school.
turns out the Sanderson sisters took them from the party, so now we have witches and a troll to deal with. Maybe I should review that movie next year. Kenny manages to avoid Trantor after a milk truck shows up. Meanwhile, it looks like Ernest's trap caught Trantor. But when he takes it to the mayor, it's actually the Murdoch brothers. Guess they thought it'd be funny to hide in the trash can trap while in troll costumes, but got stuck. So of course, Ernest gets fired for his blunder.
Ernest, you've been acting like a child about this troll thing. It's time to grow up.
Okay, but there's still kids missing, and even your son believes in the troll stuff. Or what, can Kenny not support him despite being attacked by Trantor earlier?
I really blew it this time. We're finished in this town. So much for being a hero.
Well, time to leave Missouri before the troll army comes. You know what they say.
As we say in Missouri, I ain't going back to Missouri.
But Rimshot tugging at his pants reminds him that he can't give up or whatever. Got to save the kids! In the meantime, Lady Hackmore is shown to have dolls the troll took in the past, while Ernest finds the tree and the sprouts that were growing due to the children's life force. Naturally, as he goes to find Hackmore, he gets attacked by Trantor.
You're gonna pay for the sins of your forefathers.
I didn't have forefathers. I just had one father, and I didn't know him that well.
Okay, you get that one, Ernest. This fight is kind of funny, though far too many times that Ernest should have died. Trantor's knife is sharp enough to cut metal, yet only when convenient.
Little did you suspect that I am a master of hedge clip keto.
Oh, a fellow chucker, eh?
Also, dogs driving! How can that be? Trantor knocks him into a barrel, sends him rolling into the Tulip brothers, and then I guess chose not to pursue him into Lady Hackmore's place, since she's now helping him out. Turns out there's one last page behind the one they read, as it got stuck, which tells how they can destroy the troll.
The pods have not yet dropped.
Medic?
The Trantor still seeks another child.
That's it. Authentic Bulgarian Miak.
Could it be milk? He does seem to be lactose intolerant. Also, I love how Hackmore has a giant can opener. That's funny. At the party, the parents find out their kids aren't here at all. Stupid mayor ain't much help at all. Then we get a really weird moment where Hackmore sees this girl and her mother get into an argument, and it seems like mom doesn't love her. But then the daughter apologizes and they say they love each other.
Unconditional love. That's the heart of a child.
Oh, is that what one of the conditions mean? Anyway, Ernest tries and fails to warn everyone, especially once Trantor shows up and takes one of the Murdoch brothers. And can no one just attack the troll together as a group? Why is Ernest the only one willing to fight back?
Let's see how you like a little Miak. I bet you thought I couldn't find any this time of year. Eat Miak and die.
Oh well, at least he tried. Ernest is covered in ice cream, which scares Trantor away, but not before turning Rimshot into a wooden doll as well. Kenny seems to have figured out what mother's care meant.
Milk. That's it. Milk.
And of course, the sheriff was late on the whole thing and tells his son to stay without fully understanding the situation. But Hackmore says, sometimes you gotta do what's right. So now he recruits the other Murdoch brother and his friends to fight Trantor. With the final doll, Trantor can now summon his troll children army. But first he has to contend with Ernest, who decides to run him over with his truck. But once again, he's an idiot, since knocking into the tree means the sprouts are loose. They begin to fall and they create more trolls. Ernest, do something!
Time to put a lid on this. A little body pressure should do the trick.
Come on, Ernest. What would your dad use in this situation?
Hey, Vern, look what I found in my daddy's closet. You know, I bet you this is from the big one. You know, WW2.
Boy, I bet them were some great times.
The kids raid the convenience store for any milk and super soakers they can grab. They'll need it because the troll army is here. I hate to say it, but I really wish Goblin Slayer was here. Except he only goes after goblins. But then again, Troll 2 had goblins that were called trolls. So, same thing? The townsfolk show up and are utterly useless against the troll army. This is why you don't come to Missouri. Also, the Tulip Brothers are so obsessed with making money that they're willing to film people getting dragged around by the trolls. Also, Ernest does another stupid thing.
The release. Yes, it's good. The crowd goes wild.
I think the real lesson of this movie is only children can save the world.
It works, Dad. It really works.
So all it takes is being sprayed with milk. I know it's in reference to the mother's love thing, but it's still a dumb weakness in modern times. As Trantor tries to get more power, Hackmore puts her dolls into the tree to hopefully turn them back to normal once he's defeated. But first, we have to make it seem like they're losing, despite having all the milk and super soakers they could ever want. Just so we can have a callback to Ernest's multiple personality gag scene.
We came, we saw, we took the high ground.
Even though some of us are very tired.
Trolls, is it?
Oh, great. I have to defend the fort with a multiple personality.
Oh, look, they're using those hook things.
Where's my machine gun?
Check your dad's closet!
I know nothing. I see nothing.
Anyway, stupid Tulip Brothers got their film eaten by a troll. Well, serves them right. Honestly, the only interesting part of this mess is when Trantor starts getting more power and his costume adds more appendages. All things considered, they at least do well with the practical effects. At any rate, the rest of the troll army is done, but Trantor remains and he comes out more powerful than ever. He can summon fire from hell even. Not even milk can kill him now. So what can be done? As Kenny gets turned into a doll, Ernest is left to make more commercial references. But Hackmore says that to truly defeat him, he must have the heart of a child and unconditional love. Not sure how this will work, but when the troll leaps at him, he dances with it.
Oh, you're so cute.
Huh. Guess that worked. Everyone celebrates, and the kids return to normal. This also includes the kids that Hackmore had, and 2 of them were her brother and sister? How old are you? And if Phineas was Ernest's grandfather or whatever, what century was Trantor from? I guess the 19th century, but you know what? Considering these kids might be from that century, I only have one thing for it.
Say, 19th century kid, you want to watch a cartoon on the television?
What is a cartoon? And what is this thing you call television?
Ernest is still sad his dog hasn't returned to normal, but then he does, so it's all good. Then the film just ends, with Hackmore trying to show emotion, but it just fades to black. And that's it. Yeah, this wasn't very good, but unlike Marmaduke, it wasn't overly insulting. There were some funny moments here and there. Jim Varney is at least entertaining in some spots, and the stuff with the trolls is at least amusing, and with better effects than Troll 2. But man, they are overly dependent on Ernest's shtick of being the biggest idiot alive who's too stupid to be left on his own. At least the commercials made him seem more like a bumbling redneck who means no harm, but they seem to amp up his stupidity for the movies and it doesn't always work. Hell, if anything, the real highlights of the movie were the trolls themselves and Eartha Kitt. They at least make things work. Really, while the writing and humor is mostly miss, at least it has some parts that hit. I can see it being funnier with a better writer who doesn't overplay Ernest's gimmick as a dumb redneck, or dives into possibly offensive material. Of course, there's other films that might have done better, but I don't think I'll cover them unless it's maybe Ernest Saves Christmas or Ernest Goes to Africa, and I'm already dreading what they might do in that one. But at the very least, this one didn't make me totally upset, so it gets a pass. And while the movie may have been a financial and critical flop when it first came out, it has since garnered a fan base and is considered a Halloween cult classic. If any of you out there are fans, I respect your opinion and am glad that you were able to enjoy it a lot more than I did. And with that, stay tuned for my next review on... I guess that means the pizza I ordered is here. Right before we started this review, duh. Oh boy! Wait, you're not the usual...